video, we're going to be going over how to get a model. So it's August 2026. People have been struggling with how to get a model for years. If you don't have a really big model doing model to model outreach, then this is the video for you. I just want to tell you right now that there are marketplaces on Telegram that you can go to. Just look up like OnlyFans marketplace or creator marketplace, whatever, and you can actually buy a model. It's just that the model can leave at any time. It's not guaranteed that you're going to make money. You have to start from scratch. Usually you have to provide everything, and it's actually not something I would totally recommend because you could get those same models with my methods here. So this is pretty much the funnel. You get their attention, right? They land on either your website, your Instagram, or whatever page. They get some interest. You start a conversation, qualify them, get them on a call immediately, propose, follow-up sign. Yeah, getting models is not one outreach usually. It's like a couple back and forths. I would say, you want to reach out to a model or double back at least 7 times. Because that's what it usually takes to sell someone. So, okay, next is inbound model leads. You're probably going to mainly be using Instagram and emails, maybe Twitter, maybe TikTok. And I recommend using a website if you have completely nothing and you need a Facebook for this because you're going to run meta ads on your website. Here's an example. Right? You can use Claude or anti-gravity to use this and pretty much show credibility this way. And that way you can actually put your website on an ad, which Facebook requires, and you don't have to show your Instagram page or your Facebook page. It just goes directly to the website. And we've been getting models for like 10 cents, 20 cents, sometimes even 8 cents per model. A lot of times we're targeting audiences in South America, Australia, Europe, because they seem to actually answer more often than people in the US. Unless you have a really good creative, a lot of times people from the US just won't click on it, or I don't know. Like if you had a model like showing how much she made, or if you have a really good creative that's working, you could try it for US models, but don't expect to get too many responses. Yeah, you want to make sure you have as much credibility. You can use an Instagram page and whatnot, but we'll get into that in a sec. So with your Instagram page, which I think is totally dead, right? Reaching out from your Instagram multiple times a day to multiple people is just going to shadow ban your account, and you're going to show up in spam more than likely. If you keep it low key, maybe 5 to 10 DMs a day, and you don't repeat the same like outreach message, you might have a chance if you reach out to like small accounts. I'm just going to show you real quick. Like the best you could do with these accounts now is story methods, story ads, and I guess, building as much credibility as possible, because unless you're reaching out to small accounts, no one's going to see your message. All right. So pretty much with the story mentions, like we'll use, obviously here's some information, but I'll use something like this, or I'll use something like this and put a little caption. Or you could go like more fancy and ask like ChatGPT to, take your statement and make a cool creative out of it. Like here we did a little before after. What's interesting is these get less clicks because it honestly seems like there's a lot going on. English might be their second language and whatnot. So I don't know. It's a hit or miss. But here you could see that I've circled the mentions little button right there, and you can add as many people to your story and they will likely see it. Um, so feel free to move forward with something that you like. And yeah, next would be organic story recruitment ads. So basically, like this one, you'll just boost it, and you want to target people, unless it's like, MILFs or something, you could do like 18 to 25 years old, target like Argentina, Chile, Brazil, a few European countries, and then you could try a separate one just for USA models, up to you. Yeah, pretty much you want to target like the main pain points, like why creators get stuck, or is your agency overcharging you, or stuff like that. They definitely want to hear stuff like that, like a solution to their problem. Pretty much for the meta ads, like I explained earlier, you want to have a landing page, clear offer. You can often have them complete an application to see if you even want to work with them, if they have a verified OF, if they've worked with an agency before, pretty much everything that you want to know. And yeah, have a clear headline, what you help out with, etc., etc. Let's get into the next one. Email outreach system. I'll give you guys some sauce. You could basically collect all your emails, make 2 campaigns like this, and then you can have it send out like a drip email every 2 days or 3 days or even every day. And yeah, we actually got a few responses from this last week from some of the emails, and yeah, it's actually been going really well. It's hard initially to get the emails. That's a whole other method entirely, but if you actually grind, you can find a lot on TikTok. And yeah, if you have a system that can scrape it, good for you. But yeah, you can actually do it on Instagram and TikTok and find a good amount of emails. Next is direct outreach. So like I was explaining before, you're pretty much going to reach out to creators that have however many amount of followers that you want, but I would say a low amount is better. You get a personalized message. You can also reply to their story, which is better than just sending them a random message, because I would say they look at their stories, reply more than their actual messages, and also replying to their story doesn't leave you in requests a lot of the time, but it still will. And if you're spamming people, then you'll end up in spam. But yeah, try to engage with their account first as much as you can, and then send them some sort of pitch. Yeah, voice notes work a lot too, especially if they already answer. I always go straight to voice notes. And you can also send an audit. I've seen this work a lot. Basically, you give them a few improvements that they can work on. You say you could do DMCA takedown, that you see some leaks. We've seen that type of, method come in, like, hey, your stuff's leaked. If your agency isn't already taking this down, you shouldn't be working with them, or at least blah, 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 blah. There's a few different methods, but it's also different for model-to-model outreach. If you're already doing model-to-model outreach, you already pretty much know that you want to like hype up the girl, say everything's good. Are you working with an agency? How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then pretty much get into the door that way and say like, if you want me to connect you with my manager, he's killing it for me. I'm sure I could get you a really good deal with him. And that's how that goes. But for those that don't, you got to stick with this. And the most important thing is double backs. So I've been left on scene a lot, but that's the best thing, because if they don't leave you on scene, then your double back isn't necessarily a double back. But this is all pretty much so that if you reach out, say 10 times, and the limit is 15 on that account for the day, you can actually still DM people that you actually sent a DM to already, and then unsend the first message after you send it, because it doesn't count as a new message. Yeah, so it's very time consuming, but if you have a VA, you could do it. Here's some information of like how to keep track, but it's as simple as that. For people you've been in a conversation with, obviously double back. Obviously don't spam, but just add value to the conversation. And model to model referrals. Like I always say, if you get one model, do your best. Really try to, do the best in chatting and marketing. And then you could simply either do model to model from their page or ask them for their friends or whatever. This is the easiest way to get models. Where else to find models? We got Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Facebook, Discord communities, Twitter, college influencer communities, corn sites, live streaming creators, Telegram Direct. A lot of times you'll see like their actual name be found when you look them up on Telegram, and you could just send them a message. Telegram communities, Discord communities, Facebook creator groups. I mean, there's honestly a lot of options that I've seen work. Which models should your agency pursue? So, other than what you see right here, I would just say like you want someone that answers fast, works hard, and doesn't seem problematic and too picky. It's night and day when you have someone that like lets you do your thing, and then someone that was like, I don't really like this, or I don't like how you're talking to so and so, or I don't think you're making enough, or I don't think you're doing this, or I don't think you're doing that, when this person is probably doing a whole bunch of nothing. Those are really tough people to work with. So you want pretty easygoing people, hardworking people, and like less complainers, I would say. Okay, so this is the CRM pipeline. When you get a new lead, pretty much goes into I would have this on an Excel sheet. And you could pretty much follow up, keep track of every single model that you reach out to, and keeps everything organized. So this is a good way to have it if you want it. And this will just pretty much be how everything looks at the end. And that's pretty much everything. Let me know if you have any questions about what you can possibly do. I personally seen my best results on story mentions, story ads, and emails. And other than that, like and subscribe if you want another video, and feel free to ask me any questions. I will be doing a free group call on Telegram that you can join. It's at 5 p.m. PST. And see you in the next video.